Introducing TSUNAMI, a small group base with wide gap, open core, breech peaks, disconnectable TCs, and 3 multi-TC roof bunkers. First, I'll show you the upkeep in the externals. There are 3 in total, requiring the same amount of materials in each one. Enter the compound through one of 3 gatehouses. Each one has windows for defence, and some quick loot storage in the ceiling. There are also turrets in the roof, to guard your precious ores when smelting. There's plenty of space in the compound to spam deployables, and even 3 bedrooms, so your team will always have a respawn point during an online. Before entering the base, here's a quick glimpse of the shooting floor, which wraps around the whole base. Running through one of 3 entrances, we have a chute on the right and doors on the left leading into the shell. In here, there are 3 breach peaks in total, placed symmetrically around the base. Great for early game defense. Enter the core through the standard airlock. In here, we have space for 13 large boxes, all the deployables you'll need to get going, and the main TC. Jumping up the furnaces, we have a peak looking back into the airlock. Up on the second floor, there are 2 4-box unlootables, room for a locker and 6 beds. In this design, there isn't room for traditional inner peaks, so instead, you can use this multi-TC gap, or the windows on either side, should you need them. To access the open core, use one of the 3 chutes which lead up to the roof. In here, we have space for around 45 large boxes. You can fit even more if you omit the ramps from the loot rooms. There are also 4 vending machines in the middle, with a tier 3 and 3 turrets protecting your pixels. There are more unlootables located next to the chutes. Up on the top floor, there are 3 bedrooms just like this, the loot boxes in the ceiling, and even more peaks. Next to the bedrooms, we have the bunkers. To open them, go back down to the floor below and place a triangle roof. Jump back up to the next floor to access the bunkers. In these, you can store your batteries and your main loot. To close them, destroy the roof. Through the window, you can just about see the other 2 bunkers. Going out through the door brings us onto the wide gap shooting floor, with some great peaks to defend from, including these multi-TC gaps. There are also 3 drop-down peaks just like this, around the base. The single doors give you control, so you don't get shot in the foot. Jumping up here allows you to peek onto the roof if your turrets aren't doing their job. To exit onto the roof, run over to one of the chutes. There are more peak ups here if you need to use them. There's also a vending machine in each one, and turrets on the front. There are 6 turrets in total, placed systematically around the roof. A standard roof peak down design here, with these ramps and the wide gaps for defence. First, we'll build the starter. Place the foundations down and surround with walls. In this tutorial, everything will be built in its final grade, apart from some HQM upgrades. Seal in the roof and leave a gap for the jump up. Put a wall down on either side and the TC against the left one. Don't forget to lock it. Build the peak down and seal it with the door. Then build the airlock and the loot rooms. When the starter is complete, place the furnaces down for the jump up and build a roof airlock. Now seal in the second floor, leaving a space on each square for a garage door exit. When the roof is sealed, build the unloaded bullet rooms. The locker will go on the other side of the jump up. Now it's time to expand the base. Build a pattern of twig foundations like so. If you're at all confused, just check out the aerial view in a minute. This part will form the bedrooms. You can build them later if you like, but you must place all these foundations now and connect them together, as it can't be done later. The bedrooms also bring privilege out from the base, making sure no one can build into the compound. You can place boxes on top of the triangle with a ladder. After that, remove the excess foundations. Then, do this again on the other three sides of the base. Now we're going to wall stack the other three sides. To do this, build up by 7 squares and a triangle. Remove all the squares except for the triangle. Then build back towards the base with 3 half moons. And then form this shape around the base. This part isn't connected to the main TC, so we need to connect it to an external. We do this building trick so we can fit more than one day in the main TC and get the bunkers to work. To build the external, build up by 4 squares, upgrading the last one. Then place down a half moon of triangles, a square, and 2 more triangles. Upgrade the last 2 as they'll form the external TC. You must put half walls here for the disconnecting mechanism to work. Feel free to put more doors on the external to make it more difficult to raid. Connect the external to the gatehouse with a series of frames. Place the square frame on the external, then connect the door frame to it using 4 triangles. If you get raided, you'll need to disconnect all 3 externals so you can replace the main TC. Reconnect them like so. Now we're ready to build the gatehouse. Seal yourself in with doors and windows all around, and then build the ceiling. Remember to leave a gap for the turrets and the boxes. Now we can connect the multi-TC footprint to the gatehouse, but first we need to build these bright gap foundations. Build a hexagon of triangles and build 2 wall frames. On this part, build a wall frame and a wall. Use twig scaffolding so you can place a triangle at half height here. Now connect the wall to the gatehouse using a series of frames. Repeat this step again on the other 2 sides of the base. Now the compound is sealed and you can build in peace, start to finish the shell. For the breach peak, jump up here so you can place a roof. Then place windows on the half walls. Build more half walls on top of the windows. Then seal it in, like so. The triangle frame stops anyone from getting in, so the embrasures aren't really needed. It's up to you. Build frames on top with fences to protect the turret. Now we can build the chutes. Expand the footprint by building a triangle on each side. Then build up on each one by 2 floors. Lag. Now place windows on either side of the door and build up by 2 floors. Now build frames in the shell and complete the chutes. Place metal ceilings all around, but leave a gap for the jump up. You could put a window here, like in the tour, if you prefer. Now we can seal in the roof. Place squares on each side, like so, making sure the gaps are in the correct places. Place a triangle here, making sure it's centered. Do the same on the other sides of the base to complete the ceiling. Extend the jump up like so, with a peak on the side for the shooting floor. Whatever you do, don't rotate this wall. The half-height triangle converts it to a hard side anyway, so if you leave the loot room stone, it can't be soft-sided into. Now we can build the open core. First, build walls all around the 3rd floor. Then build the loot rooms and extend the entrance. Do this again on the other 3 sides. Seal in these triangles for the open core loot rooms. Rotating this wall covers the gap. For the shelf, build a half-height triangle here and extend it into this loot room. But for stability purposes, place a square in this loot room. You must attach it to a triangle from the other side. Rotating this frame covers this gap. These garage doors should actually be backwards to cover the small boxes in the left-hand loot room. In the right-hand loot room, the ramps must be backwards so no one can get in from behind. It's a little tricky to fit the boxes in there though, so watch carefully. Now do this step again on the other two sides. Now we can seal in the open core by placing windows and walls all around. The walls will form the bunkers later. Now build 3 wall frames in the middle, and then a triangle at half height. Replace the half walls with full walls. Now attach ceilings to the half height triangle. Now the open core is relatively secure, we can extend the chutes. And again, repeat this on the other 2 sides. Now to build the bunker. It's important to upgrade this window to Armoured 2, so it covers the gap. To cover another gap, we need to make sure this wall is backwards, and attach a frame to it. If rotated correctly, the gap should be covered. Then place the locker and build the bedrooms. This gap will be covered later, so don't worry. Whatever you do, don't place a wall frame here. Now seal in the rest of the roof, making sure the middle is all HQM. For the bunkers, it's very important to make sure the ceilings are placed in the correct slots, otherwise you'll seal the bunker. After this next stage, I recommend that you test the bunkers to make sure they still work. Over the bedroom, place a floor frame and a square tile to cover any gaps. When you've done all 3 sides, the roof should look like this. But there's still one small gap in the back of the bunker. To close it, open the bunker from the back. Opening the bunker allows you to attach a triangle floor tile to the armoured ceiling, closing the gap. Now I recommend fortifying the chutes. Here I placed the vending machine in the wrong place. It should be in the left-hand wall. Otherwise, I don't think the drone can access it. Now we can start building the wide gap shooting floor. First, extend the foundations. Then build 2 layers of wall frames all around, like so. Again, repeat this step on the other sides of the base. Build a temporary floor here and extend all the frames up by another floor. Then attach floors to the frames. Make sure these squares are attached correctly, so you get the tiny gaps in the middle. After placing window frames all around, build the drop-down peaks. Use triangle frames and a half wall to support the floor. Now extend it all the way for the roof peak up. You could put doors here if you'd like, to prevent the back wall from being soft-sided. Before sealing the roof, place wall frames in every slot or on the shooting floor. Now we can finish the shooting floor ceiling. Attach these parts to the wide gap. Do the same all around the base. After that, we could build the roof defences. After placing the windows and the ramps, build roofs here. It's very important to place shotgun traps under them, so no grubs can hide here. Then build triangle roofs on the side to protect the turrets. As soon as you got your electric up, don't forget to get some SAM sites down. And the base is done. Thanks for sticking around. If you liked it or didn't like it, let me know in the comments. Very soon, we're going to start streaming, so I can share the design process with you, and as a community, we can come up with better builds together. so make sure you go and follow me on Twitch. Check the details in the pinned comment. See you there. Cheers.